I've got this one actually would be good. This has happened twice in a row. I'm going to start with this one. There apparently was a massive pool noodle fight over who gets to use the name Josh. This is a real story.
A pool noodle fight. Okay. Sounds very controversial. Bring this up on screen here so we all can enjoy this together. All right. Yes. Headline: Pool noodle fight over the name Josh again attracts hundreds.
I love that headline.
Okay. A couple hundred people grab their pool noodles. Those are like the big, like almost like kind of Nerf things that are like flotation devices.
Yeah,
and you can whack people with them.
It's industrial pipe insulation. They just add color and suddenly it's a pool noodle.
Oh, okay. Well, what an ingenious idea. Is that what was that on Shark Tank? I don't know if they put that on there. Well, a couple hundred people grabbed their pool noodles and headed to a Nebraska park again this weekend to battle over the right to the name Josh. The event started out as an online joke when Josh Swain from Tucson, Arizona, sent out a tweet challenging anyone who shared his name to fight over it. After it took on a life of its own, Swain turned it into a real event last year. At the random coordinates he included in his original note, which happened to be Lincoln, Nebraska. Quote, "The enthusiasm from everyone here is just incredible," Swain told the Lincoln Journal-Star. Several of the competitors this year donned costumes, including masks, animal suits, and football helmets before heading out to the Bowling Lake Park. How do you swim with a football helmet on? I don't know. Might just drown, walk in the water and you're drowning.
I don't think they were swimming.
No. They're using pool noodles, though. I just assume that there's going to be some sort of water involved.
There's not. So actually, I dropped. You can stop reading at this point. And I dropped a link into the Carrot Shop of footage of the event. This is from last year. This is the first one in 2021.
Okay, let's take a look at these assholes. It's a news story. I'll play the news story. Got to get context here.
And it was a battle of a lifetime in Lincoln today. #JoshFight started as a pandemic joke, but instead turned into an event watched by thousands across the country. Reporter Yusuf Nasser takes us to Lincoln for the unusual Josh fight that brought people from all over the country.
It was an absolute Josh pit at Lincoln Air Park on Saturday. Big Josh,
Pit?
Spider Josh, Little Josh, a plethora of Joshes gathered from all over the country to compete in the ultimate showdown.
I'm coming from Minnesota.
I'm coming all the way from Dallas. So I'm from Omaha.
I'm from Wichita, Kansas. I drove 4.5 hours to be here.
And of course, the man who started it all, Josh Swain of Arizona.
I'm feeling
pretty
insane right now. It's kind of out of body right now. I honestly couldn't really tell you.
This is damn exciting
going
stuff.
through my head at the moment.
A year ago, Swain took to Facebook and challenged as many Josh Swains as he could to a battle royale. The winner would earn the right to keep the name. As the idea went viral, Swain decided to use the opportunity to contribute to charity, the Lincoln Food Bank, and the Children's Hospital and Medical Center. Josh Swain of Omaha took a year to prepare and competed in an epic duel of rock, paper, scissors, best of three. They tied three times straight, but the original Josh Swain emerged victorious.
I found another Josh Swain. That was amazing. Did not expect that to happen. And I came out on top.
That's when the real competition began. Joshes from all over gathered in a circle to compete in a noodle fight.
When pimps on shows about pimps and hoes say I pay my bitches nothing.
Josh
Sorry.
Benson Jr. of
Wrong
Lincoln,
clip.
affectionately known as Little Josh, came out victorious.
I always fight everyone.
Oh, they gave it to the kid. He didn't even battle. This is such a oh my God. If people like bet money on this, the fix was in for the beginning. There's no way this kid won. He's like 4 foot. He's probably 10 years old.
I think it's like 5 or 6. Yeah.
I don't even think he's woke.
He's too old for Joe Biden, for
He's
sure.
He's not an anti-racist kid.
No, he's not an anti-racist baby, that's for sure.
So I dropped a second link into Carrot Shop. It should start at 19 seconds. It's just footage of the fight. So this is this year. You can tell because they're not wearing masks. They're back again to fight it out. This is still better than the prequels.
Okay. They're back in a big way, people.
Saturday morning, the United Army of Joshes showed up once again to fight it out. How'd they battle it out, you ask? The best way for Joshes to duel, in a pool noodle battle.
Hi everybody, I used to be named Josh, but I lost the name Josh last year in the Josh fight, so maybe I can reclaim it this year.
I think I'm going to win this year.
Many Joshes sought after the tightly held crown from big to small. But the winner of last year's Josh fight said he wasn't giving up his title so easy. How do you think you're going to win? What's your plan?
Fight everyone.
Little Josh had some big competition with Captain Josh Sparrow fighting for the top spot. And after a one-on-one fight to the finish, Little Josh prevailed, yet again keeping his title as the one and only Josh. Creator of the Josh fight, Josh Swain hopes Lincoln will always be home to the fight and plans to continue the battle next year.
Hopefully prove that it's kind of a sustainable event that we can keep going consistently throughout each year.
Oh yeah, bullshit. Danielle Kaiser, Channel.
All right. It turned it into some sort of charity event. There's no blood. There's
And,
no...
I was disappointed that there wasn't some autistic Josh who doesn't have a sense of humor who showed up with like an actual pipe and just started wailing at people.
like some sort of real gladiatorial combat here.
That kid runs out with the trophy, and this guy just runs out there and clocks him.
Really start kicking teeth and knocking heads.
That's what I'm thinking. Didn't they have cheating in boxing where they would put like metal and shit in the gloves?
Back in the day.
That's what I'm thinking. You put like a copper pipe.
Oh yeah,
shit in there.
Right in one of those pool noodles. Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy runs out there with a pipe.
Knocking 11-year-olds out left and right. Yeah, I don't see any like really beefy guys. Like, I don't think the word spread to biker gangs yet. If you can get like, there's got to be some biker gangs with his name, you know? Or
that's only if you're fighting for the right to the name Randy or something.
Hulk Hogan should change his name to Josh Swain just to compete in this. And then he can start really knocking some heads.
That's for damn sure.
Were there any big wrestlers in the past who had the names Josh?
No.
I don't think so. Joe would know. If there's any.
I watched a lot of wrestling. Not that I know of. I gave up at the Stone Cold era.
What about the Ultimate Josh?
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you want your ideas, your beliefs to live forever?
I don't know what beliefs Josh Swain has, but they might live forever.
They're probably more coherent than that of the Ultimate Warrior.
Probably. The Ultimate Josh.
Where's Stone Cold Steve Josh?
Stone Cold Josh Steve.
Just comes out and comes running off the side in the background, plowing people over.
Clotheslining people, chugging beer, dropping elbows. I kind of like Josh Hogan's good. Stone Cold Josh Steve is good.
No, it's got to be Hollywood Hulk Josh.
Macho Josh. Those are all good names.
Macho Man Randy Josh.
Yeah. Josh the Animal Steel, that could work. All that stuff.
Superfly Jimmy Josh.
There you go. There's some people dressed up in costumes, but not what I would think would be like over the top. You know, I didn't see any Klingons. I didn't see any like people dressed up as Star Trek or Star Wars. No one from the prequels, Cratchit.
It hasn't gotten weird enough. There was people dressed like prequels.
Were they?
Yeah, there were people that thought they were Jedi running around with their fucking floppy pool noodles. Still looks better than the prequels.
You got a floppy lightsaber, kid.
Yeah, sorry, kid. You gotta. Sometimes it happens to us when we get older. Lightsabers go a little floppy.
It's not what it used to be. That's for sure.
Lightsaber only stays lit for a couple of minutes, once or twice a week.
This is really bad advice for kids. That's why you never have Obi-Wan Kenobi give advice about lightsabers to kids.
Yeah, that would be a different movie if Luke shows up and you got a creepy old man who's just giving him life advice, but it's all like, what's going to go wrong when you're 60?
The lightsaber gets all droopy and you can barely go to the bathroom anymore.
Get up 6 times a night.
Yeah. Just kind of get all rashy. You got tattooey pox. It's always scratchy.
Shingles.
That's your uncle talking.
It is.
All right, so I got some food related stuff. I have a this story's not really oddball stuff, but I got McDonald's and Wendy's getting sued because their burgers look bigger in ads.
I have a story. I don't know if you saw my top one. A guy who mailed himself from Australia.
Did it work?
It's a pretty weird. I'm gonna preempt you right here because this is on my top news list.
Is he lost in the mail?
Well, there's a story about this. there's a good story about this. So, man who posted himself home from Australia in a box took laxatives to stop pooing for days.
Not how laxatives work.
Well played.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought laxatives make you go. So, I mean, did he take the laxatives and then get into the box? And so he was just violently shitting himself on the entire ride back to the UK.
He's like, this was a bad idea.
Oh, I took the wrong pills.
So I have to ask the question, was this guy from Prague, perchance?
A man who posted himself back to the UK from Australia in the 1960s has revealed that he took a load of laxatives to stop his box overflowing with waste during the 5-day journey. Okay.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I think don't laxatives make you go? They don't like block you up, right?
Unless he was trying to just clear himself out and prep, but then he'd be like super dehydrated.
Yeah, exactly. That's not the best way to travel in a box. You want to be really hydrated. So Brian Robsons, who is 76, originally from Wales, moved to Australia when he was 19 years old and worked for Victorian Railways. But tiring of the life down under, Brian hatched upon a plan to return himself to the UK in 1965 in extremely desperate circumstances. Realizing that a train ticket would be £700, which was unaffordable on his monthly salary.
Wait, did you say train ticket?
That's what it says. Train. You can't.
How did you get a train from Australia?
Am I reading the story from a different parallel dimension?
What's happening? What kind of planet did I wake up in?
Well, there you go. What's this guy's name?
Josh.
Brian. Josh. He realized £700, which was unaffordable on his monthly salary. Brian hatched upon a plan to seal himself in a wooden crate to travel from Australia to the UK. To avoid paying the high price to get home, he decided instead to convince two men from Ireland to help him stow away on a freight train. Okay, the two men nailed Brian inside the crate, which had been outfitted with a pillow, a suitcase, and a book of Beatles songs. Just a book of Beatles songs? So you're reading about the Beatles songs?
Well, is he reading lyrics from the Beatles, or is it a book of songs sung by actual insects?
I don't know.
It's
it just says chirp, 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 chirp over and over. It's terrible.
They didn't even give him a bucket to crap in. Like he's got a pillow. I guess you crap in your pillow.
Maybe one of those guys said, because they're Irish, don't trust them. But he said, hey, take this pill. It'll help you stop pooping.
So the journey itself was quite horrific. It took 5 days. In preparation, Brian took laxatives for 3 days beforehand to avoid any accidents. His Irish accomplices had labeled the small wooden box as a computer and booked him on to a Qantas flight from Melbourne to London without a hitch. So, oh my God, a computer. I mean, they would just throw that thing around. They don't care.
I'm still confused by the train thing.
Yeah, the train's not making a lot of sense. But however, en route home, the crate was transferred to a Pan Am flight because the original plane was full. Instead of London, Brian was headed for L.A. and found himself stored in a freight shed where after 5 days, he was too weak to hammer himself out. Boy, this guy really fucked himself.
What a pussy.
Yeah. Why don't you mail yourself right, asshole?
Just throw a stamp on your fucking forehead, dummy, like everybody else.
Just wear a t-shirt with a stamp on it.
Shove me in the overhead. I'll be fine. So he's too weak in L.A. to hammer himself out. Luckily for Brian, a man looked through a hole in the wooden knot in the chest, and they caught each other's eye.
Some sort of glory eye hole?
Yeah, this guy going around.
It's like, hey, there's a good glory hole over there.
Just sticking his finger in holes.
Stick your dick in?
Yeah.
Meeting different people doing weird stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Check out the hole in this box.
He jumped back. He said, there's somebody in there. Brian spent 5 days recovering in a hospital and was questioned by the FBI. Not too long after, he was released and allowed to fly on a passenger jet back to the UK without any legal action taken against him by the then acting Minister of Immigration. When back in the UK, Brian wrote to the two men who aided in his plan, but they never responded. Are they going to turn this into a movie? They should. Tom Hanks should do this movie.
This would be a good Tom Hanks one.
Yeah, just a man in a box traveling.
Call it that. Man in a
okay.
box.
Okay. All right.
Here's how you change it though. I'm gonna flip it up on you, or flip it on you a little bit. Instead of from Australia, he's from Prague, Czechoslovakia. I'm sorry, Prague, Czech Republic. So you could name the movie "The Check's in the Mail."
Oh my God, I'm gonna murder you.
What'd you do?
Disappointed!
He documented his journey in a book, The Crate Escape.
That's better, Cratchit.
How come he gets Crate Escape and you guys give me shit for The Check's in the Mail?
Wrong.
If he was, we don't even know if he's Czechoslovakian. We would have to write that into the story.
Or was he actually escaping?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the other thing. I would name it The Train from Australia. How about that?
No.
Okay, well, I don't know.
How about Thank God for Glory Holes?
I mean, of course.
Or just I really hit the glory hole on this one.
Yeah,
I can always get behind and in front of a glory hole.
How about shitting in a box for 5 days? I'd go see that movie.
Shit yourself to freedom?
Yeah.
Shit the gay away.
How's that? I don't know if that's relevant. I don't know if that's applicable to the actual story, but I'm sure we could work it in if we get the right producers.
It's important to get away from the box.
I see.
Jesus Christ.
It works on a lot of different levels there, Joe.
We are swirling around the bowl now.
Works on a lot of different levels there,
huh? Frightening Me suggests check this crate. I also like unchecked luggage. Maybe that one.
That one's not bad.
Maybe, what about Lost and Found? That could be more of like a family.
That sounds like a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the guy, so it's going to be a woman who rescues him and then takes him home and they fall in love.
There you go.
How about Mr. Laxative or something like that?
His shoes are full.
He did. He took the laxatives beforehand, so he dehydrated himself. So he was like all out of shit, and he didn't have enough shit in his body to survive on. I'm surprised he just didn't like take a lot of sleeping pills and like try to sleep through that. And then I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I want to read his book now because when you're flying, wouldn't you be extremely cold up in the high altitudes?
Course, yeah. Dogs die like that.
Yeah. Joe Biden flies all his dogs like that.
So does Mitt Romney.
Yeah, Mitt Romney straps into the car.
Straps to the top of the plane.
Yeah.
He can't say like I don't need this shit because apparently he did.
He doesn't have his shit.
Yeah. I lost this shit. Don't need this shit. We got shit in a lot of places.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit.
What is this shit?
Look at this shit. They didn't even give him a bucket. Okay, Crash, what's your next story?
All right, so I'll let you guys pick we're going to have to go with this. I've got McDonald's and Wendy's getting sued because their burgers look better in ads than they do in real life.
Okay.
I've got an unholy alliance between Ritz crackers and Oreo cookies.
Huh.
And I've got a contest from Heinz offering money for your best burger creation.
We do a lot of Heinz news. We did
the best burger creation sounds like a self-indulgent load of shit.
Oh yeah, it's a contest, so it's going to be
So
terrible.
you want Ritz crackers and Oreos? Unholy hybrid?
What was the first one?
McDonald's and Wendy's getting sued because their burgers look better in photos than they do in real life.
I mean, that's like kind of obvious.
I would think so.
What else? Do you have what's behind door number 4?
Can we join that lawsuit as a class action?
I don't know. We could probably look into it. I didn't read the whole story. I skimmed through it. How about one about Shake Shack trying to trick people into eating plant-based food? And I got this VR story.
What about the one that showed up in the guy who was blocking the drive-through over Egg McMuffin?
Yeah, but that's just a guy being a dick.
Okay.
And it's in the UK, and I don't care.
I'm throwing my hands up.
I think Gretchen needs to pick. I think this is his time to shine.
Oh God, put a lot of pressure on me. I'm gonna go with this one because I don't understand the purpose of this. It's as bad as you think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I want to see this now.
Okay.
I love Ritz crackers. I used to love Oreos. Don't like sweets anymore.
Well, Ritz Crackers and Oreo cookies unveil new Ritz Oreo treat.
That's some good news on that front.
No.
They might as well call it Monkey Oreo.
So it's got a Ritz cracker on top, which probably provides the salty goodness. You got the filling, and then the traditional Oreo cookie on the bottom.
And you dip it in hummus.
Oh my God!
Put
Joe.
some hot sauce on it.
Jesus Christ!
This just sounds terrible. I was like, who suggested this, and then who agreed to it?
Well, I tweeted about it. I didn't think they were going to do it, but
hey, you guys should take a Ritz and an Oreo and put them together.
Snack brands Ritz Crackers and Oreo cookies are teaming up for the support or for the release of their new Ritz. It's like Ritz X Oreo, a first of its kind sweet and savory product mashed that is one part Ritz Cracker and one part Oreo cookie. Actually, it's like 2 parts Oreo and 1 part Ritz because it's got the Oreo filling. Oh, but I think it's got peanut butter in there too.
But they added peanut butter. Since when did Ritz come with peanut butter?
This is bullshit.
Ritz should have cheese, and it should be cheese in there, making this absolutely terrible.
This is bullshit.
Yes. I agree. That's what I was thinking. Cheese and cream, but that would be terrible. But I think there's probably people, since bread and crackers are close, peanut butter makes sense. And so I have to imagine there is an appeal here.
Limited edition Ritz Oreo features 1 Ritz cracker and 1 Oreo chocolate wafer sandwiched in sandwich layers of smooth peanut butter and the original Oreo cream. So you got the butter flavored cream with the original Oreo cream.
It just sounds gross.
Fans will be able to get their hands on 1 free pack of this limited edition treat starting 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. That's tomorrow. So if you guys listen to this in the morning, you can get it by visiting Oreo.com/Ritz. All you have to do is pay $4 for shipping, and you have to ask fast because things will be going very quickly. So
why did Oreos team up with Lunchables and have a half Oreo and a half cracker with a piece of like nasty salami on it?
Oh my God.
Was it handy?
As long as
Eat it.
As long as we're just mixing shit together that like 12-year-olds find in the cupboard because they don't have
I'm setting a timer for myself.
Dinner.
I'm setting a timer for myself that I'm going to order this.
Honestly, I don't think it would be a bad idea. I would be interested. I mean, it's not keto friendly, so I'll say that up front. But I would be interested in how it tastes. I feel like it could be good.
This is how monkeypox starts with this.
Release the monkeypox.
Or you're going to be like that guy who shits himself in a box after eating this thing.
Yeah.
You piece of shit.
Well, you don't got to be mean about it. I think I'm gonna order this.
Shitbag.
I'm gonna put this in my phone. I'm creating an alert and
wake up in the middle of the night. Honey, what's wrong? I gotta order Ritz Oreos.
It's 12:01 a.m. I need these.
I gotta order every box I got.
Putting cheese on an Oreo. The hell? This is just.
You could imagine, too, dipping it in jelly. I'd go fucking berserk if I were going to let myself do this.
How much stuff are you putting on? Are you going to put a pickle on it, too? What the hell?
I got to say, the branding's nice on this. The packaging, it looks like a solid package. I got it up on screen right here. Joe, you're a branding design guy. You got to look at this package. You got to say, that's not enticing. That doesn't look good.
It's really good. It's red and blue. It's got red, white, and blue, which is a good thing. Everybody loves that. Russian flag, American flag. But it comes together like a Venn diagram, and it works.
God,
I would say that this is marketing genius, and it's not like New Coke kind of shit. This is the kind of shit that it's like, this is when food could go viral, and yeah, maybe that white cookie layer is monkeypox.
All right, I just set my alarm, and so I got an alarm going off tomorrow at 11:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to remind me to hop on this website.
Or you could just go to Kroger and buy these things yourself.
You can't. This is limited edition, Cratchit.
Yeah, it's impossible for you to buy Ritz crackers and also Oreos and then make them fit together.
I can't do it. I don't have the technology.
We don't have the cookie technology.
What would you mix with Pringles?
Anything.
I think Pringles you would have to put on some mayonnaise just right on top of the Pringle.
Fuck yeah.
If this is a success, then we're going to see additional unholy hybrids
Yeah,
throughout the entire
that's
snack
the scary
community.
thing. People are going to start going through all the brands that they own and just seeing what they can mix together.
Yeah. Doritos and pickles.
Piccalilli flavored Lucky Charms. Like, oh my God.
Vaseline and Fritos. Oh, okay. Put anything together.
Well, I mean, there is a turducken. You know what I mean? Like, this is not something that people want to do this shit all the time. Like, there's so many. I think there's like, I don't know, a dozen places in Austin where they got donut burgers. You know, they cut the donut like a bun and then they throw a burger in there and you're like, I'm not fat enough.
Eat, goddammit.
Yeah, I got to eat, goddammit. Okay. I like this story.
It's fine. It's good for you and it tastes good.
The Canadians, they like to put gravy on fries, right? What is that one? Poutine?
I know
Vladimir Poutine.
They do weird stuff up there with their fries, that's for sure.
Put mayo on everything.
And so they're Dutch, and I actually like it. I remember when I was a kid, people were like, what the fuck are you doing? My mom, we would go to the bowling alley, and I would beg people for quarters, and my mom would order fries and shit. And she would always ask for mayonnaise.
Wait a second, you go around asking people for quarters at the bowling alley?
Fuck yeah, dude.
He said he was begging for quarters at the bowling alley.
Dude, I was born to be homeless. So
why'd you want the quarters for? To play the Donkey Kong?
Elevator action.
Elevator action.
All the fucking shit that was going on. But my mom would order and she would get questions.
Give me money, I kill you.
Yeah, I never said that. I was not that aggressive. But
money.
There were pool sticks nearby, so I probably could have gotten violent if I wanted to be a violent child. But I didn't. A lot of people were like, "Oh, that's the Wagner kid. You give him a quarter, he'll go fucking."
I need money.
But anyway, we would eat mayonnaise on shit all the time. It's mayonnaise on fries. You do that. That's Europe.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
It's good.
I'm not a big fan of mayonnaise.
Hey, listen, you dicks, send money.
Well, I mean, the kid was walking around. You got to send it to him. I guess you could throw it at. If people throw money
Chuck
at
it
you,
at me. I should have been dancing.
Listen, you dicks.
Like that. What's that kid who on Netflix who's always dancing and getting.
Josh?
Joe Biden?
No, the Netflix kid who was like a stripper or whatever.
Oh, I don't know.
Pederast Bobby? I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. It was a controversy not that long ago where the kid was I can't remember his name right now, but anyway, he was doing these dances and it was on Netflix. It was precursor to Cuties Flicks.
Oh.
Yeah. So these days I would do that. I would just come in there in some skimpy kid underwear and
at a bowling alley.
At the local bowling alley, telling everybody your name is Oreo Cream.
Hey, give me a quarter. I'll let you taste my Ritz.
Maybe I can do it today.
Put a quarter in my shorts and eat some mayo.
Free mayo down here if you catch my drift.
I'll clean your ball if you need.
Put some mayo on those fries.
Give me money, give me bitch.
It's quite a bowling alley you got over there.
Yeah.
Professional ball cleaner at the bowling alley.
Yeah. They probably spray the balls a lot.
Finally, those clips are relevant.
Yeah, I got bowling alley clips.
You got bowling alley clips, and this is the perfect conversation. You've been waiting.
Are the sounds coming through as quietly on the stream as they are on my headphones?
What, Cratchit's clips?
Yeah.
They're a little low. I don't know if they're...
I can bring them up, but if I play them louder, then you're like, hey, turn those down.
It depends on the clip.
Yeah,
some are good.
These are not normalized.
Desmond is amazing. Thank you,
Desmond
Rudy.
is amazing.
Yes. I would be the Desmond of the 80s.
Desmond of the bowling alley, that's for sure.
Yeah. I would come in there in some like swim trunks, only.
Mm-hmm.
Barefoot. I need a quarter to play elevator action.
Sure.
By the way, how's everything going down there?
This is all Joe's idea.
Yeah, because your fingers in the used ball.
There you go. That's it.
Well, I think you found your part-time gig.
If I go back in time and tell myself.
I mean, yeah, it's You'd do things differently. You wouldn't go back and like tell yourself to invest in Apple or Microsoft. It's like, no,
Buy Bitcoin.
dress up like this at the bowling alley.
Yeah.
You
And you
get
can play elevator action for the rest of your life.
You probably can get 2 quarters if you're nice. This is a Joe story. Okay.
It is. It's from NPR, which is awesome.
All right.
So they have an actual NPR story here because NPR, you remember they used to do that? They used to have their actual.
They used to have like a radio clip, like a little NPR news.
They have video of this happening, but they don't have the little clip from their show.
Okay. Well, this is a headline. LA removes crosswalks allegedly painted by a secretive group.
Oh, really?
Wow. Like a clandestine crosswalk.
So, yeah, the short version is basically there's a bunch of anarchists going around Los Angeles creating their own street markings based purely on feedback from people on Twitter. So people say, hey, our street really needs a crosswalk. And this group shows up and makes a crosswalk.
They're like roadside vigilantes, like roadwork vigilantes. I like this.
I'm pretty sure Rod Stewart is one of them.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. He likes to do a road work.
Rod Stewart personally is out there making these crosswalks. But so in the same story, there's a Twitter link about halfway down. You'll see embedded there.
Okay.
In the same story, basically, LA is now pissed because, well, they didn't make those crosswalks, so they have to go erase them. But
what's wrong with it?
But there's a Twitter link there of the same day that they're talking about erasing these crosswalks. This group's out there making more.
Good. Get out there. Make your own crosswalks. Come on, people. You got to make things safe out there.
Fuck them.
Yeah, so up on the screen here, Crosswalk Collective LA. While the city was removing our crosswalks at the Romaine in Cenero Street Crossway, we painted one that was requested April 11th by a resident through our request form. Oh, they have a request form. That's great. The city doesn't keep us safe, so we keep us safe. Listen, I think this is great. This is a citizen actions group, street vigilantes, making sure people have a safe place to cross. If the government's not going to do it, and we are the government, then great, do it. I feel as though there should be a 7-way stop here. And it's only a T section, so let's get at least...
You're just going to ignore one of them?
Yes. Let's just get 7 ways going. A 7-way stop. There need to be more stop signs. That's what I do in Sib City. Just have all these convergences of roads and have like 1,000 stop signs.
So the NPR article is talking about this intersection where they went out and made crosswalks and the city goes to erase them. In that article, well, the city's already planning to improve that intersection by converting it into a traffic circle, at which point they're going to have to rip up the roads anyway. So this is your city government at work. They're going out there, removing a crosswalk they didn't put in, which does nothing. It's already a 4-way stop. So it does nothing to the traffic flow or anything. It doesn't affect anybody except potentially make the crossing more visible. The city already has that intersection flagged for conversion into a traffic circle. So they're going to go out there and erase the free crosswalk that somebody else put in, and then they're going to come back and tear up the roads anyway to make a traffic circle. So,
and by the way,
congratulations.
These crosswalks, they look pretty convincing. They have straight lines. It's blocked fairly evenly. I would say that this is some freelance guys. These are guys who maybe have done this before. They probably had some equipment left over from their day job doing crosswalk, any kind of road.
So I just put a link into Carrot Shop. They have on their website, they explain how they make the crosswalks. It is very well done.
I like this.
With lots of photos.
I think I want to hire them for a birthday party. This could be fun. These guys good for gatherings? I think they are. Okay. They have an about guide, cost, time. What's the cost? Initial cost is $300, $150 for the stencil, $150 for the remaining items. Cost per crosswalk, about $50. I think they can do a better, more efficient job budget-wise than the city.
Probably.
Of course they can. So this reminds me of another story, but before I get into that, like people, it's always the roads. As a libertarian, it's always the roads because they're so complicated. It's so complex to make a road because concrete is like so sophisticated.
How does it work?
I don't know. I mean, I think scientists are still working on it. It's like flat Earth. We don't know. But so there was a story not long ago. Well, one, let me get into the finances. When they build the roads, it's usually some government official passing out a contract to, Uncle Bill,
his brother-in-law.
Yeah, somebody who runs has a concrete company, a paving company, and he's a genius because concrete and roads are fucking hard, dude. And so they pass them out at premium prices, right? You remember the hammers that cost $800 back in the 90s? They were going on about
gold-plated.
Yeah. So they were, it's basically they put these exorbitant contracts together for, nepotistic reasons, because it's like Ukraine. It's just like a giant spinner to get money back in the hands of the fucking criminals. So anyway, there was a story, I think it was in Seattle, which would make sense because it's always these lefty retards in the government itself. But people were filling in potholes because the government wouldn't come and fix them. And then they were getting fined. And then the government was tearing them up and filling them in again because they weren't up to standards or whatever. It's like the same thing. Like you need a fucking haircut license to cut people's hair, even if that person just trusts you and wants a haircut and wants to give you $20. Like it's such a fucking bonanza of bullshit. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, Rod Stewart got into trouble doing that same thing. Like a few months ago, we talked about it. Rod Stewart was tired of busting up his Ferrari when he was driving down the road. So he got out there, he put on a safety jacket, got a hard hat on, and started filling in the roads. And the government got pissed, said, hey, you can't do that, Rod. But he did it anyways.
He said, what are you going to do? Come out and stop me? Watch this.
You going to bring over your old Motown records?
It's going to put the speakers in the window.
Well, I like what these guys are doing, and gals. There's some gals out there doing this too.
Yeah,
and they do a great job. It just sucks that the city is not like tapping these people, going, you know what, you're doing a good job. Make more. You're saving us money. You're helping improve our budget here at the city. All right. Oh, interesting story, Cratchit.
Anyways, I saw that one and I thought of Joe's stories about the anarchists doing their own thing.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to this one, which is this is a Mike story because this is a cyber attack story.
Oh, Mike's story. Okay.
Mike, you're on fire. We love you, brother.
Thank you. Hope I'm not on fire. Let's see here. Here's the headline here. Bank refuses to pay ransom to hackers, sends dick pics instead.
That's good news.
The bank sends dick pics instead?
Yep.
Wow, okay. I'm not sure it would be enough for me to switch bank accounts, but I have something of a sneaking respect for the Bank of Zambia. That's a real bank, I guess. The Bank of Zambia. As Bleeping Computer reports, Zambia's central bank fell foul of a ransomware attack orchestrated by the Hive ransomware gang earlier this month. In a press release, the Bank of Zambia reassured its customers, partners, and media that it had recovered from the attack. And so they put out a statement. In disruption, which affected some systems at the bank, such as the Bureau of Change Monitoring Systems and the website, emanated from a suspected cybersecurity incident. We wish to advise that the systems have since been fully restored. Well, that's good to know, but that's not that impressive to me. Rather, the claim that the bank responded to messages from the extortionists by sending them a dick pic with the accompanying message. Suck this dick and stop locking bank networks thinking you will monetize something. Learn to monetize. Okay. That's a huge fuck you.
This is damn exciting stuff.
It's a bold move. It really is. So, according to Bloomberg, the Bank of Zambia, their technical director, Greg, decided it was capable of storing its data itself without the assistance of the wannabe extortionists. So they had full backups. They're all good. So, obviously, like what they do, they get a foothold in the system. They encrypt some data, bank accounts, all that kind of stuff, and then they'll say, hey, if you want the password to unencrypt, give us money. And these people had backups of everything, so they didn't need their help. So, all right.
Yeah, so there's another reporting of the same story from Bloomberg, who doesn't reference the dick pics at all, just says that the hackers were given short shrift. It says, only some test data had been leaked. Knowing that we had protected our core systems, it wasn't really necessary for us to even engage. So we pretty much told them where to get off. That's as far as Bloomberg goes. But
so the question
other story's
here,
better.
Whose dick picture did they use?
I would like to think it was a collective one from the network security team.
Well, they had to get the dick pic from somewhere. Did they say, hey, we'll go online, find a dick pic using company computers, and then send that to the hackers?
They put together a blue ribbon committee to spend the next 3 days to try to find the most offensive dick pic.
Or did the director of IT says, I just so happen to have a dick pic on my phone that we can use for just such an occasion?
Yeah, I've got a whole album on my phone. Do you want to use one of these?
It's a deep fake dick pic.
Deep fake, yes.
So, Mike, my question to you as a network security professional, how ill-advised or well-advised is this response to hackers? You say, hey, we installed ransomware, we have all your data, we've got it all locked up, and we're not going to give it to you unless you pay. And if you just respond with a dick pic.
It depends on I would probably say it's not advised to respond with such a provocative measure. If your response is in any way, you only respond to negotiate in some way. Either you have some sort of cybersecurity insurance which will take care of this kind of thing, at which point in time you're not going to respond. If your data is so sensitive and you need it now, at which point in time you will respond and pay whatever they want. Like what happened with the pipeline stuff. They paid, but I believe they paid and only were able to partially recover some of the data. So what was promised by the hackers wasn't even delivered. So they kind of got screwed out there. They thought they were going to pay the money and all was going to be on the up and up. I think the going thought here is don't do it. Don't give in, because if there's a unified front to not negotiate with these hackers and terrorists, then it will be a tactic that will not benefit them in the long run. It becomes a dead end for them if no one is willing to pay, because their backups are so good, or the cybersecurity insurance is put in place and they're able to recover some funds.
The other question I had is, what if when you're contacted by the hackers with their ransomware, what if the payment they want is dick pics? Do you send them money instead?
Ooh, it depends on how much, like if you have a wealth of dick pics to share, and the quality.
You think they might come back and say, this was not good enough, send another one?
There's a lot of things there that there's a lot of unanswered questions. So I don't know. I would say never negotiate, not even with dick pics. Not worth it.
And if you are going to send dick pics, you can support the show by CCing me in all those sends.
Exactly. Joe, it will observe and report back if you found anything incredible.
Now Joe's super hardcore.
Super hard something. Well, let's switch gears here a little bit. I have a story in Carrot Shop for you about a school club that is having some trouble getting formed.
Okay, a school club. All right, let's get up on the screen here. Occult Club registration rejected after a complaint it may summon Satan to University of,
Adelaide.
Adelaide. University of Adelaide.
In Australia.
Okay. All right.
That's a funny headline.
It's a funny headline, but I got to read it. A club of pagans, witches, and Satanists say its affiliation with the Adelaide University Union has been rejected because of a complaint. Its members may summon the devil onto campus.
Oh, really?
Quote, even if we wanted to summon Satan, it's not against university or union policy to do so. It's still not really grounds to reject us. And I agree. If there's no formal, if it's not in the student's handbook to not summon Satan or demonic creatures, you can do it.
I wonder, are there schools that have that in there? Like, hey, have you ever read all the way through this thing?
Probably at Bible universities.
BibleUniversity.com.
Bible University, some of those Mormon universities they probably frown upon that. It's probably in one of their handbooks that you cannot practice occult. You can't have Ouija boards in your dorm rooms or anything like that. I would see that.
This doesn't say that. This says specifically about summoning Satan.
Yeah, they're very particular about that. That means that I think sometime in the past, someone did summon Satan.
Oh, okay.
And they downplayed it.
Look, in 1978, we had a student summon the Dark Lord of Hell, and it would cause all sorts of problems, so never again.
Yeah.
I have to do it.
The Adelaide University Occult Club was formed in late 2020 and provisionally registered with the Adelaide University Union in early 2021. But earlier this month, the application for full registration was not approved. The club is now planning to appeal the decision of the AUU Club Committee to the union's board. However, the same conservative progress faction controls both bodies. So registration opens up funding for clubs as well as access to space and equipment at the university. So they want access to the VCRs, the overhead projectors, and probably the coffee break room.
So the way this works at a lot of schools is they'll have general pool funding for student groups, and they get, it's a modicum of funds. Here's $1,000 a year to have a party or to, have a guest speaker come in or something like that. And that's really where the push on this is coming, or pushback on this is coming from. Like, hey, we want to have a club. Okay. And we want $1,000. Okay. What are you going to do? We're going to summon Satan.
No. No. Well, okay. We'll invite Nancy Pelosi and Anton LaVey.
That's
maybe. Okay. You can have one of those. The club also organized an open letter signed by other club leaders supporting its registration, while the online petition garnered 571 signatures. Okay. Quote, these people have just made this decision based upon their own political gain rather than what actually democratically represented people desire at the university. The AUU board and two of its club committees are chosen by student votes. Okay. There are 6 Christian clubs, 1 Muslim club, 1 secular club registered with the union, according to its own website. So, okay.
So if they handle this correctly, they can push back and say, look, we're the complaint is they're going to summon Satan. What they're saying is, look, we're just pagans and Wiccans and whatnot. And like, hey, if you're going to allow clubs that are openly professing Christianity or Islam, why can't we have a club? So,
what about me? And I don't know what their laws are like in Australia when it comes to freedom of religion or freedom of speech. But in the United States, I would assume there would be a good court case to where this would be allowed. I would assume. If you're allowing
at schools in the U.S., a lot of times what happens is they'll say, okay, well, we're not going to allow this. We're also not going to allow any specifically religious clubs.
Yes, I think that's how they would rule.
Quite a bit.
Yep.
Separation of church and state, that sort of thing.
All right. No occult club.
No Satan.
I would love to see what they talk about there, though. I'd be kind of curious to see what they're...
Do they spend their entire meetings drawing circles on the floor with wax and trying to summon Satan?
We're going to chop off a chicken's head this class. Okay.
Proper way to chop off a chicken's head.
How to create a blood sigil to summon the dark overlords to help you manifest your own dreams and destiny. Count me in. Sign me up.
Best times of the year to create a pentagram.
Yes. Oh, sometimes are better than others if you follow moon cycles. So, all right, interesting one.
All right, let's move to this one because this one cracks me up, and the fact that this guy calls himself this unironically, and it's also from your former neck of the woods down in Arizona.
Oh, okay. I do like Arizona still. Paradise Valley man calls himself Poop Fairy as he works to keep neighborhood clean.
That's some good news on that front.
I tell you what, Paradise Valley, great area. If you're going to live in Phoenix, Paradise Valley is absolutely beautiful. Live very close to there. And so I wish I had a poop fairy there, although I didn't encounter too much poop on the sidewalks. But maybe this guy will shed more light on the good work that he's doing. We'll see here.
I think there's a news story.
Yeah.
There are everyday heroes who don't ask for accolades. A Valley man has taken it upon himself to keep his community clean.
Yeah, he took to the Nextdoor app to let his neighbors know about the thankless job he's doing, and he wants to encourage them to do their part too. Amy Cutler's working this story live in the newsroom. Amy, he calls himself the Poop Fairy.
That's right. We want to be very clear in saying this is a name he has given himself, not one that we have given him. The Paradise Valley homeowner often goes for walks and runs and realized he could either get angry with his neighbors about the trash they leave behind or do something about it.
There's no technique.
Jim Saunders explaining what's become his routine.
I take a plastic bag with me and I pick up waste, including dog waste, that's lying on the side of the road. Shit!
And this Paradise Valley homeowner has a name for it.
I kind of morphed into something called plogging. And plogging is a combination of two words. They're actually in Swedish.
It means picking up and jogging.
About the time that I'm winded,
AKA doo-doo butt.
Over and pick up. I can catch my breath and then I start again.
All right, this guy, so he's a plogger. He picks and jogs. And he goes around, he's got plastic bags that he uses to pick up crap from the ground.
You said that was Swedish?
Is that what he said? Swedish?
Picking.
I'm going to rewind it.
I'm winded. There's going to be something for me to bend over and pick up. I can catch my breath and then I start again. Words, they're actually in Swedish.
It means picking up and jogging.
About the time that I'm winded, there's going to be something for me to bend over and pick up. I can catch my breath and then I start again. There's no pride in that.
Saunders also does it when he's walking his dog.
This is today's load.
I learned about his newest job
So many good
through
quotes.
a tongue-in-cheek post on Nextdoor. In it, he calls himself the Poop Fairy, writing, quote, "It's not something I applied for or desired. There's
AKA
no health,
doo-doo
dental, or 401k." He also encourages those walking in PV who see him with a load in hand to wave and give a shout-out. Thanks, Poop Fairy.
You can't convince anyone of anything anymore. And so I said, well, I'll just write a tongue-in-cheek post and at least make people aware of the situation.
Thanks,
Hopefully encouraging others to take part.
Being a poop fairy is not a one-person job. If anybody else would like to pick up the load, welcome to it.
And not all heroes wear capes. Saunders tells me that post was really just a stream of consciousness, but it got my attention and is really just another reminder to pick up your trash. Nicole Yetta?
Yeah.
Pick up your trash and everything else nobody else wants to do.
Exactly.
He is a fairy, a little bit of an angel for that neighborhood.
Jesus Christ.
Great story. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
This is quite the story.
By the way, so that I forgot to mention that credit to Herman from Holland for finding that one. In Swedish, plocka is the word for pick. So plocka and jogging, which is also a Swedish word, so would be plogging, I guess. But
I think this is probably one of my favorite stories of the year. There are so many quotes in there that say poop fairy. There's so many ISOs that are able to be harvested from that. It's insane. And he's not only doing it, they spent 2 minutes talking about this guy who walks around carrying shit. You know, he stinks. Like he's walking around smelling like shit, walking his dog. He's an old man, probably in his 50s or 60s, and he's just walking around town, the beautiful Paradise Valley, smelling like human feces.
They also never pointed out, my question is, what does he do with all the waste he collects?
Exactly. He doesn't say what he does with it.
Piles of feces.
They don't show him like putting it in one of those little cans with the bags or anything on. He's got a big, it showed Sprouts. It was a big grocery store bag full of stuff. Is he taking that home?
I guess so.
Is he building a homunculus out of human shit?
Yeah.
We want homelessness and needles and feces.
He's grabbing it all. He's taking it all. He's stockpiling. Some people hoard toilet paper. This guy hoards shit.
But you're right. I'm willing to bet everything he owns, everything that, everything in his house, it just stinks of it.
It stinks of homeless feces. It's just awful.
Reminds her of eating feces.
He's doing he's picking up trash and litter, so good on him for doing that. He just smells awful. We should send him deodorant or something, or some sort of potpourri to spray. So spray it.
We spray feces on people.
Yep.
Does he have a jetpack, perhaps?
He does. I think he has a jet.
I fly a jetpack spraying human feces on people.
That's what he does. So he goes around, collects crap, puts it in his jetpack, and that's how he powers it.
What about does Bill Gates drink the water?
What?
You don't
Bill
have
Gates?
that one?
No.
Bill Gates saying poop water?
Let me see. Bill water. It's not coming up for me.
I swear you had that one.
Maybe it's in Big Luther.
It is one of the things, though, that Bill Gates was talking about, where it's like, we're going to shove a bunch of shit in this giant machine. If I remember correctly, it was pretty large. It wasn't you could just like move this thing around. He's like, oh, this water's delicious, which probably came out of a Dasani bottle. But he does want you to drink poop.
Yes, he does. He desires you to eat poop, eat bugs, and dance around in urine. That's the life that we're headed towards. All being tracked with AI, by the way. I'm trying to. What is this right here?
I just spilled a big glass of water in here.
That was the wrong clip right there. Is he?
If you're going to slit your wrists, you want to slit them in hot water in a tub, and you don't really feel it. You just pass out in about 5-10 minutes and die.
Okay, that's obviously not the right clip. So I'll have to find the Bill Gates clip later.
The Bill Clinton clip of him drinking Bill Gates.
Yes, they can drink each other. Sit around 69, drink each other, guys.
Oh,
whatever you want to do.
Wasn't going to go that far, but thanks.
Okay, one more story, Cratchit, and then for next week I will talk about graham crackers and how they prevent masturbation.
That was actually why they were created. Is that what you mean? You're talking about
Yes.
Kellogg?
Yeah.
Okay. That's why. By the way, that's why breakfast cereal exists, people. It's not fake. The reason that Kellogg made breakfast cereal was anti-masturbation. I'm not shitting you. Look it up. All right, so let's see. I got a couple of headlines here. I got a headline about a cruise to the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh.
Got a headline about a woman who eats nothing but potato chips and on bread. And a story questioning if your house is haunted, do you have to tell potential buyers when you're selling it?
I kind of, the Bermuda Triangle one, let's save that for next week. I kind of want to know about the haunted house one. Like, do we have to do that?
Oh, and one I forgot down here at the bottom, somebody who is a water sommelier who tells you how to drink water.
So their job is to tell you how to
and
drink.
This guy is a super over-the-top German gay man. So, and there's lots of video of him.
Well, I believe him.
So that or haunted house?
Well, let's do the. I'm kind of curious about the German gentleman with water. I mean, I want to know about the haunted house. Maybe we'll do two. So let's do the German guy who can tell us how to drink water properly, and then we'll close with the haunted house.
Okay.
Not a joke.
Yeah, this guy, not a joke, is apparently a water sommelier.
I'm not sure what the term sommelier means.
Sommelier is the wine snob who tells you how to select wine to match your meal.
Okay. All right. Let's see what they got up on screen here. Here we go. So what's TikTok's leading water sommelier thinks about your favorite brands? Well, we're going to find out. It's TikTok official. Some water just tastes better than other water. And that's an excuse for you to not. And that's not. Wait. And
yeah, I will point out, this is the whatever the what was the name of this group that got sued by Hulk Hogan? I can't remember the name, but
was it Gander? Gawker.
This is a spin-off of Gawker bullshit, so the writing is absolutely terrible. If you wanted, you can just scroll down to where there's an embedded video.
Yeah, because there's they use triple negatives.
Just poorly written articles.
Just like triple negatives. Okay, we'll scroll down, and he's got a TikTok video, and he's going to tell me and you what we should do.
Hello everybody, here's Martin, your personal water sommelier. I'm in beautiful Palm Springs because I'm doing a water class today. Look at this. There's already everything set up, and I'm gonna be right over there in a second. and we're gonna taste several waters. And I want to showcase what kind of waters we're gonna sample here today in Palm Springs. So we're gonna start with Evian from Evian Labor with a TDS of 340. Then we're going to Denmark, Iskilde. This is when I'm shaking, the bottle turns into like a cloudy, almost like milky texture, really cool water with a TDS of 320. Then we're going further to 3 Bays. This is the water I had on the Zac Efron show. It's called back in the days Aquilife. And this is where Anna Kendrick said like, oh my God, what is happening? This is a very thick water because the TDS is 1,300 and it's very...
Do you hear all that rumbling? It sounds like he's broadcasting from a submarine, like he's under the water.
It's a Star Trek background noise.
He loves, yeah, it is. It's like the Star Trek Next Generation, like hum in the background.
Heavy on your palate. The next one, Hilden. Hilden from Great Britain. This is the Queen's water. This is what Queen Elizabeth is drinking every day. You can even see the crest here on the bottle. TDS of 312 and tiny, gently bubbles. Be careful. When you're drinking too much Hilden water, your arm will do like this and like this, like the Queen. Then it further, we're going to Italy, Farewell, the #1 consumed sparkling water in Italy.
I don't know. I kind of find it fascinating to hear what the elites are drinking water-wise.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Queen Elizabeth has like her own water. The question is, does she process that water herself and bottle it, or is she putting it back in the bottle when she's done with it?
Well, I have no doubt that the water that the majority of us drink is absolute crap. That's why we spent some money on a water filtration system for our house, and then we have additional like Berkeys upstairs. But you know, I'm told that's not even enough to get really good pure water, because it is very important in your life. So I'm curious about this guy. I just wonder how affordable is it to the average person out there? Probably not. People are going to drink right out of tap water. You're going to drink dog water.
For the most part, most municipal tap water, with few exceptions, most municipal tap water is just fine. What you have to watch out for is all the fluoride and other shit.
Fluoride, yeah.
But
yeah,
you
exactly.
have a well, don't you? Is your well? Did you get your well fixed yet?
Our well's fine. So we have one primary well, and then we have a secondary well, which I have yet to fix because the threads got stripped. So our primary well dumps in about 50 to 75 gallons of water. That's the estimation per day. I think it's actually less than that. I think our well is a little too shallow to really sustain our entire house. So we have to supplement with a cistern, which is municipal water. So it's a mixture.
So you could actually bottle, once you get that sorted out, you could bottle OBDM water.
I probably, yeah, we could say OBDM well water. We tested it. It's pretty good. There is a little trace of lithium, but we were not sure where that comes from. So that's the mystery. So I'm very docile over here. Very docile. I do find this interesting in that this is a big TikToker. Like, I'm going to take a look at his TikTok channel. He's got 267,000 followers. So people like to hear about water on TikTok.
Yeah, and he has stories like, not stories, what do you call TikTok things? TikTok videos?
I don't know.
Stories, but
I think
he talks about like, can water go bad? Or how does like generic spring water compare to like brand name like Dasani or Fiji? So he goes through some of that stuff, which is good. But I think a lot of it's kind of over the top, like these crazy, like you said, the elite stuff, these crazy $20 bottles of water.
I would imagine like they're $80 or a bottle, but maybe, I don't know.
I got to look up the Queen's water.
Yeah, the Queen's water. Like I've been thinking about getting some really good tobacco. Like there's some really like high grade tobacco out there you can buy. Not this like the crappy stuff that you get from American Spirits or Marlboro. I want some really premium stuff, and I got to know where to go.
Why the fuck would you want that?
To smoke it. I want to smoke that shit.
Okay. Well, you know, okay. Do your thing.
I have to do it.
I may have told the story on the show before, but my ex-husband and I was asking him. He worked at Trader Joe's, and I was like, bring that like Greenland, Iceland water, whatever. It was supposedly 9 pH, which is higher than 7, which is what's recommended for your body to be. And then I also had this, I don't remember the name of it. It's like whatever. It's some kind of name that is a high-powered filter that supposedly takes out fluoride, supposedly takes out all the shit. It's a high-powered water filter. And then we put out water from the sink. So we had all three on the table. My ex-husband asked me to identify them. I identified them accurately.
Really?
100%. Yeah. You can tell.
All right. Okay.
Have you tried this?
I have not tried to do a water taste testing ceremony.
No, pour the shit out of your goddamn faucet.
Okay.
Buy some water from the store and then buy some water from your filter. Like, you can tell. I mean, there are a couple brands of water here in town. There's Wursteiner. That's one. It's a soda water. They are 100. Like, it tastes like cleanliness. It's crazy. There's another one called Rambler here in town.
Oh, Rambler.
And it's the minerals that are in there, or I don't know exactly what it is, but it just tastes clean. And I would highly recommend that people aim in that direction, right? You don't want to have like piss and lithium in your fucking
That's
water.
what I got.
Piss.
That's what I live on. Piss and lithium. But I will try that test and see if I can tell a difference. I don't know if my palate is that good, but maybe I'll be able to figure it out.
So apparently what the Queen drinks is the brand is Malvern water or Malvern mineral water. There's some debate because of how much minerals are actually in it. They take a huge amount of it with them every time they travel, so she doesn't drink local water, which is not to say a bad thing because, you know, Joe, to your point about what's in your tap water, for a lot of people that's fine, but if you're from somewhere else and you get different mineral and content in it, it can, you know, that's where Montezuma's Revenge comes from. It can basically you can mess up your GI for a couple of days. So So the Queen's like, nope, bottled water only.
Does it say how much it is?
I don't know. I'll have to see if I can buy it.
That's all
Can you buy it online?
I would hope so. But I'm curious about it. I'd buy some. I'd try it. It's really, really good. I'm assuming it comes in glass bottles. Most of that stuff.
I believe it's carried by virgins in jars.
Oh, okay.
So very expensive.
Not a cheap product, but okay.
So apparently Schweppes has been bottling it from Malvern since 1851, and then Coca-Cola bought Schweppes, so it's bottled by Coca-Cola, so God only knows what it actually is anymore.
Oh, my God. Okay. Well, interesting story. One last one. Let's do the haunted house. So I got to know. I don't think my house is haunted. I hope not. Right. Maybe I should invite the Occult Club over from Australia to determine if my house is haunted. They would know.
Another one that Herman found somewhere, and this is from Motley Fool about investments, and they're basically saying, from the standpoint of disclosure, when selling a house, do you have to disclose, if you think your house is haunted, you have to disclose that when selling it.
Yeah. Yeah. Headline here, do you have to tell potential buyers if you think your house is haunted?
Man, I got mixed emotions about this one.
Yeah. Well, you have to disclose if there was a murder or a suicide in your house, I believe, at least in the United States. But whether or not those people decide to stick around in the spirit world on your property, that's another issue. So when you sell your home, you are in the best position to know the details about your property. As a result, many states have laws requiring you to disclose certain details about the house you are selling. Specifically, you'll likely need to explain any material defects so buyers can make an informed choice about whether to make an offer, get a mortgage, or pay you for your property. And pay you for your property. There are certain known defects that you're generally required to report to potential buyers, such as roof leaks or problems with the foundation. But what about if you believe your house is haunted because you have experienced evidence of paranormal activity? Is this something you need to share? I'd be curious about this. Some people list their house. This is not the story, but some people list their house as it is haunted in the hopes that it will attract people who want to buy a haunted house.
Yeah, I think we talked about that. There was famously the house that they filmed The Exorcist. No, the house that
Amityville, I think.
Well, there was one where the Exorcist story was based on something that happened in that house, and then even William Friedkin went there to get information about it before he made The Exorcist or something, and then that house sold for huge amounts because of the guys who owned it. So so you're right. You can lean into that. We covered that story a couple of months ago.
Well, I mean,
you can definitely lean into the haunted house thing.
It's famously Jimmy Page. He bought the house that was
Crowley.
lived in by Crowley. He bought it because he wanted access to Crowley's portal. And
rephrase that, please.
His spiritual envelope.
I would rephrase that one too.
I don't know. Back to this story. What are the rules regarding a suspected haunted house? Perhaps unsurprisingly, most states do not have laws in the books that specify exactly whether a seller must disclose whether the property is haunted. However, this issue has been addressed in a limited number of locations, including New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and Minnesota. In Minnesota and Massachusetts, the law specifically indicates that paranormal activity does not have to be disclosed to potential buyers. But in New York and New Jersey, there are circumstances where this information must be shared. In New Jersey, sellers must be truthful in reporting any ghostly activity, but only if the possible buyer asks. So those home buyers who are concerned about getting unwanted departed guests along with their new mortgage when buying the property should be sure to inquire about whether there are any ghosts on the premise.
Wait, you're saying it's up to me as the buyer to inquire?
Yeah, buyer beware. You got to ask. You got to ask all these questions.
I didn't tell you there's a demon living in your house. Hey.
Wouldn't that be something, though, if you bought a house, the buyer said, no, it's not haunted. You move in, it is poltergeist nonstop. Could you go back and then sue?
I think if they said, as you just did, that it's not haunted, if they said it's not haunted, if they just never mention it, that's where that's where you're in a gray area there.
Yeah, I guess so.
By the way, the consensus is Crowley's Portal would be a good name for a haunted gay bar.
Well, I mean, it certainly would attract attention. That's for no doubt about that. But,
I love this idea that you have to this is a disclosure on your house. So would you be at an advantage if you were one of these home inspectors or you were in charge of appraisals? You know, it's like, you said you had one ghost. I see 4.
There's a lot of ghosts in here, way more than you indicated.
2? Maybe 4?
My PKE meter says there's 5.6 ghosts in
No.
Don't believe the 5.6.
I got a different inspector on this. He gave me a different number.
I want a second opinion.
What's all in this house?
A gorgon, a zombie, a vampire, a werewolf, a chupacabra, a Bigfoot.
There's a lot of things going on in this house.
Bigfoot. Just as a way. Yeah, so this house is great shape. 1930s, original, postmodern. By the way, there is a Bigfoot in the house somewhere. It's original tile floors, original wood paneling.
Wait,
what?
The house comes with a Bigfoot? Oh, yeah. He leaves you alone mostly.
Don't go on the 3rd floor.
Well, remember, we read that story in Maryland where you brought, where the sellers said the house comes with people squatting in the basement.
That's right. Yeah. You're pretty sure there was a bear down there.
This could have been a bear or a team of bears, and they didn't go down and check. But in New York, sellers who perpetuate a home's reputation for being haunted cannot turn around and sell a property to unsuspecting buyers, or the court could rescind the sale of the home. So if you go around bragging to people, I got a haunted house, I got ghouls and goblins, and then you go around trying to sell a house nah, there's nothing going on like that, then you're lying. You're being a two-faced paranormal son of a bitch, and the court's going to get you on that.
Yeah, I want to look at that sentence again. So in New York, sellers who perpetuate a home's reputation for being... Okay, so if you lean in and try to sell it as a haunted house...
I see.
But then it says... But sell the property to unsuspecting. How would it be unsuspecting buyers if you're perpetuating the reputation of it being haunted?
Out-of-towners, people who are out of town, not familiar with your reputation of harboring goblins on the property, and they didn't ask.
It's so legit bat. Says Chupa Squatter.
Chupa Squatter, exactly. That's what we're dealing with in some of these places.
Bigfoot.
Well, this New York case is based on a court ruling in 1991 when a family spoke publicly about ghostly activity and then subsequently sold their house to buyers from out of town who were unaware of its reputation. It's often referred to as the Ghostbusters case.
Well, but that's them just like basically not doing disclosure. So that's you selling a house that's got a major roof leak or something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it does raise your question. When you buy a house, you hire a home inspector to come through and give it a check, and see what's going on and give you some heads up on things. Do you also hire a paranormal investigator or a medium?
Yep. You got you.
No. I think this is an additional qualification. Right? You say, no. I'm not just like an inspector. I actually have the paranormal certificate too.
Yeah, I'm not only a mortgage broker, I can bust these ghosts.
Also, I have some divining rods in my truck so I can find you water in your living room.
Yeah, I get my mortgage and my ghost busting through Chase. They wouldn't give us a mortgage until they came in and bust all these ghosts for us.
It was hard to get a mortgage for this house, but once those Ghostbusters showed up, cleared that right up.
It's fascinating. Well, there's no set law. It varies from state to state, and apparently, if you're concerned, buy in New York because apparently you got to disclose that stuff there. But some people love this shit.
I did find that story from last fall. It was October 9th, 2021 when we talked about it. It says couple buys a haunted house that inspired The Exorcist, but when they bought it, they didn't realize why it was so cheap on the market because it was a haunted house. So this is a disclosure problem.
Yeah.
Where is this? This is in, I'm curious if it's in New York State. Doesn't say. Thank you. Good job. I think it's Maryland. Anyway, so these guys bought a house that inspired the story of The Exorcist decades earlier, obviously, but they didn't realize that it was potentially a haunted house.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who to blame on that one. I mean,
I'd blame them for not hiring a Ghostbuster before they bought the house.
Yeah, you get home inspection. Now you got to get spiritual inspection, paranormal it's just another bill. Who needs this crap? All this shit adds up. Oh,
I guess if you can live with a Bigfoot in the attic, you can save a bunch of money.
Get a house for cheap. Well, hey, everyone, thank you for hanging out and being a part of the magic. Yes.
Be a part of the magic.
We'll be back on Wednesday. But if you want to be a part of the magic, go to obdmpod.com. There are various ways to help support the show. Interact on Facebook. Joe's over there posting up memes. There's messages you can send. Or over there on Twitter, I'm posting up news stories over there and talking to people. So thank you very much. We appreciate all the support. I guess if anybody is going to Sam's show on Thursday in Columbus, I'll see you there. Sam Tripoli of Tinfoil Hat is coming to Columbus at the Funny Bone. I'm going to go check him out on the 7 o'clock Thursday show.
Are you gonna bootleg record it and then release it on Patreon?
I may take my recorder and see if I can get some good quality sound samples. I wouldn't release it massively. I'd probably release like a clip here or there, but
you can reach them. So why don't you ask to get the audio off of the board?
I might. I'll say, hey, do you want a really, really good recording? I'll get the board audio, and maybe I'll do that.
You should. I'm jealous. He's not coming here.
Yeah, he's making like some people in our Discord. They went to go see him. I think Gigs went to go see him recently, and was sporting an OBDM T-shirt, and they posted a picture of them with Sam. So he's making the rounds. So check him out. Cool.
Yes. And Mike mentioned joining in the Facebook and everything, but the Discord is where it's at. And when you support us on Patreon, that's how you get in there. And we have all kinds of channels. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of different information in there.
Memes, music,
news stories.
We're talking about all the monkeypox and the kung flu and all this other stuff.
Oh my God, the monkeypox. My God, the monkeypox.
I think I have it. Look at this shit. Oh my hands. Like there's some shit on there. People watching, you can see. Don't get close to me.
The monkeypox.
There we go. All right. Thank you, Cratchit. Thank you, Joe. We'll talk to everyone next time. Shabla go.
Keep watching for haunted houses.
My dad's cock is a lot bigger than mine. I'm the type of guy, even when there's guys in a big bathroom, I kind of like, well, I'll just wait till I get home. I don't like, I mean.
The man's a guy.
All right, monster.
Bigfoot.
Little blue
A
fuck.
motherfucking
Praying mantis, man. That's the only way I can describe it.
I'm on a whole other level. Always been.
That's about all. Shablagu.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Our media is fucked. Our politicians are fucked. Our government's fucked.
Give us an email at ourbigdumbmouth@gmail.com. Check out obdmpod.com for all the social media and donation links. Be a part of the magic.